Hey, what's going on, y'all? Back with another one. Back with another one. This is the Daily Hump Dump, the 58th edition, and we're right back with our daily current events. Yes, we talk about a little sports talk over here and all that. Made some new adjustments. Um, got some new gear on the side, but some new hats and all that. A little something for the year. Lots been going on. Lots been going on. Yeah, the biggest story right now on in the sports world is the Lakers just sold. Mark Walters just sold the Lakers and for like what? It's 12.5 billion because he's under investigation for the e-files. And yeah, this is about big money. For the other guys, they bid it for the Las Vegas team in the future. They thought they was gonna get it, and then they decided to go with Mark Walters since he's in trouble. And a lot of people think it's a conspiracy. I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think it's just business. And I think the reason being you're seeing it, it's really looking nasty for him. He only had it for a year. So it's a lot of stuff going on, and I already seen the regular season. I'm a Pistons, like y'all know that I'm diehard Pistons supporter. Always have been since I was young. Even though I grew up watching the Bulls as a child, but I messed with the Pistons since I was like 6 years old, and I always liked them. It was fun to watch. But then when Jordan retired, I kind of extend my support for them in this century. I've always liked them. I always liked their style of play, even though Isaiah was cold in the '80s. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, man, it's just like the NBA has gotten very interesting this offseason. Football is right around the corner, and I think football is at a good pace. I've been watching Woodward Sports, their Detroit Sports, and other sports stations too. Everybody's happy about their teams. Even my team, the Eagles, is doing okay. So the Super Bowl, they try to make it like the Rams, but I don't know. It could be Detroit or LA this year going to the Super Bowl. It's a possibility. I don't trust the Rams. They can get injured anytime. So they got Aaron Donald, yeah, but he should stay retired, man. Like I don't see him. They'll be dominant because they got Miles Garrett. They got all the pieces, but I don't think they're guaranteed to win a Super Bowl. Let's just keep it real. Because anything can happen in the playoffs. It's over. The injuries changes the game. Same with the NBA playoffs. Now the agenda. Shouts out Carcino breaking it down that the agenda is the Lakers and the Sixers. That's what they're trying to push for the final. Since New York won, nobody respects the Knicks championship. You know why? It's fraudulent, right? Because even though Adam Silver's under fire with that Clipper thing, I think me personally, I already know Ballmer's going to get off. He'll get a small penalty, and Kawhi, there's nothing going to happen to him. This report says nothing will happen to Kawhi, which is not alarming. This is pretty much standard because they don't want to mess with their superstars. He brings traction. So it's kind of is what it is. So yeah, the NFL is on swing right now, and networks is making money on these sports. They're gonna do what they do, and baseball is almost over. So we got another month of it. Then October is the World Series. Now the American League whole conference is just trash. Yes, Red Sox and Yankees, they always go all the time in playoffs, and everybody picks the Astros to go further this year in the World Series. See, the Blue Jays went last year. The Dodgers kind of struggle against the Blue Jays. So I don't think they're going to repeat again. The Braves are doing very well. I'm a Braves fan down here because I live in GA outside of Atlanta, but the Braves is on fire. Now, Scooble got traded from the Tigers. I like the Tigers too. That's one of my favorite teams in the American League. I got a lot of teams in the American League I like, but I'm a National League guy, so I grew up as the Braves and several National League teams. They're straight. But when it comes to the American League, it's easier, and then the other side is stronger. But the Dodgers, they're not, they can't be villains. Shouts to Rob Parker saying this, he's right, and they're not villains. They're basically just people they put together that already won World Series and titles and then been into the playoffs further and further, right? So it's very interesting. They think School was going to put them over because Antani got hurt all the season. I just don't see them repeating. I don't because they'll have competition. They got Atlanta to worry about. They got the Mets. I don't know if they're doing good. I gotta check their standings because I've been paying attention to baseball too on the side, but it's pretty much the same NBL. Let's look at Major League for a minute. You know, top of the second inning, the Orioles and the Twins are playing, which is pretty. It's the Athletics days, but they're gonna move to Vegas soon. The Athletics. Then you got the Tampa Bay Rays. They used to be called the Devil Rays when I was a kid. They call them the Rays now. Houston Astros. That they said they are the favorites to come out the American League. That's what I've heard. I'm not sure. And then you got the Brewers. Yeah, you got the Padres. It's just a whole mess right now. But baseball is in a good hands. I think the problem with people that don't understand that baseball is standard. Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays is good. They should be good in the playoffs. So Yankees has been mid this year. So Tampa Bay might do something in the American League playoffs. The White Sox is good in their division. They lead the Royals, they lead the Guardians, and the Tigers is right behind the White Sox. I think the problem with the Tigers is they're right behind the White Sox, so they're 59 and 60. So the White Sox is doing good. They still got to beat the White Sox. So the Chicago White Sox can win the division, but if the Tigers keep playing like they're playing, they should beat the White Sox. They only got 60 losses. The Tigers should win that division. They're in that division with the Central with White Sox, and then it's only one, two, three, four, about four teams I like in this division: White Sox, Tigers, Twins, and the Royals. When I used to love baseball growing up, this was my favorite division right here, American League Central. I always like the Tigers. I forget the players they used to have, and then they had Frank Thomas at one time. The White Sox was just interesting to me. And they might win it. Hell, you may never know. But if they borderline wild card, yeah, I can see the Tigers get in. Or if not, the Blue Jays win it last year. Red Sox has been on the streak. I could see the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Rays and American League East. It looks like Tampa Bay, man. That's sure probably a playoff team. Now, American League West, yeah, they try to say Astros. Everybody said the Astros can have a shot. I don't know though. They're gonna win a division, but I don't know if they're gonna make the playoffs. It depends on the numbering. And then you got the Rangers, the Mariners. The Mariners are not doing good. The American League, yeah, it's trash. Nobody's really doing good. The Angels is terrible. Royals is terrible. The best team in the American League right now is Tampa Bay. Second best, yeah, Yankees. Third, Red Sox, and the White Sox. If you notice, the they're the best in the American League. Yeah, it's an interesting year. Now the Tigers, I don't know. Now the Braves is top this year because they're doing very well. They only got but 48 losses, 71. Yeah, Atlanta's going to make it to the National League. In the National League East, it's my favorite division of all time. I do like the Marlins too, and they used to have the Expos. They're the Nationals. They're okay. The Nationals I'm neutral on, but I remember they were the Expos. The Mets are okay. The only New York team I like in this division is probably the Mets, but they're doing terrible. I'm neutral on the Phillies. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Phillies. I don't really care for them. The Nationals, I do a little bit. Don't care for them that much either. But I'm more of a Braves, some Marlins, and Mets. Really, them three. The other two is like my neutrals. National League East, I've always grew up watching them, even though I was a Braves fan since I was a little boy. I always like the Braves. Greg Maddux, I can go back to them. The Brewers are doing good. Ooh. So the Brewers are the best team in the National League right now. So it's the Brewers, the Braves, I'll say the Brewers, Braves, and Dodgers. The Dodgers are 72 and 48. They got the same record as the Braves. The National League West is kind of very competitive. Diamondbacks, Padres, they're all going to the playoffs. National Leagues is competitive. My goodness, you got the Cardinals doing good. St. Louis, the Cubs, yeah, you already know it's everybody's doing good. Even the Marlins, man, the National League is just stacked. It's just stacked right now. I've been paying attention. But man, baseball is baseball. This is a good year for Major League Baseball. Interesting, interesting times. But they're doing their rounds, so it's gonna be interesting what is gonna be into the season. So I just don't see people just tripping about if Scuba's gonna be a threat. So, let's get back to politics is kind of dead right now because Trump he's about to get up out of here. The campaign's a bunch of bullshit all across the United States. So let's get back to the Lakers selling to this ownership group. Bob Iger, he's a Disney guy. I think Disney Land, I believe that's in California. He was part of Disney. And then also they got a territory in Orlando, Disney World, or something like that. Or Walt Disney World, right? In Orlando's. Because the magic is so powerful. These markets, man, I'm telling you. But when you look back at it now, you just like Mark Walters had that a year. A lot said he's under investigation. Yeah, they all are. But it ain't just him; it's the people around him. That's what got him in trouble. He had to sell a team. He's trying to save face. Well, he had to not make himself look bad. You know what I mean? And that's the whole point of looking at the big picture. So when you start looking at things, you just start looking at what really matters at this point. So basically, you're just trying to see if this is going to happen. I just don't see people thriving in a big manner like this. So when you look at the sports world, what we're seeing today, that the Lakers, and it's going to be interesting whether they're going to keep Luka or not. They might trade Austin Reeves in the future. You know what I'm saying? All they care about is money. True. It's a combination of two things. Corruption for Mark Walters, not to question the people that purchase it, because all they care about is money. So yeah, you're gonna have high ticket sales. Yeah, everybody's divided because of this damn move with Mark Walters. Yeah, you got LeBron out of there. They might get rid of Luka out of there. Why is it's kept? That may ruin the agenda. Trump is trying to ruin it because I know he was pro New York Knicks going to their games, and you see why women didn't win because of him. Look, this is in the White House. I'm trying to tell you, like, it's over. Like, everybody's mad that the Lakers getting a new ownership. Well, they just want margins. This reminds me of the Celtics, and they're gonna end up trading Austin Reeves. I think he'll be the first one to go off the board that they're gonna say, all right, dude, like, get the fuck up out of here. They want to make sure Luka is the moneymaker. So they're gonna pay some of the guys. It's not gonna they're gonna get rid of Austin Reeves. He don't deserve that contract. I could see if they try to get our boy Jalen Duren, because his agent is messing him up with the contract signing. That's big in Detroit. I want to speak on it a little bit. He's a good player. He don't deserve a whole lot of money. I think he deserves to take the 30 million, whatever, and the qualifying art. I think they'll trade him, but he'll make that up if he work on his game. He's been working. He ain't saying nothing. His agent is messing him over. I think he should fire his agent so he can stay in Detroit. So Detroit can match any deal that's done for him. And that's been said on every Detroit Pistons platforms I done listen to. But a lot of these fans are casuals. They don't really watch the games. They just speculate about Duran doing this and that. And they was hating on him in the playoffs then. These teams just figured him out over time. They just figured him out over time. He did well against Orlando. I mean, he play terrible in those games? You could say the first 2 to 3 games. I think we won. We won one of the games. I think we didn't get swept all complete. We won. I believe we won game 3. I'm not sure because the first 2 games it looked like a sweep, but I think we won one of those games. I don't know if it was game 4 because I couldn't remember because I know they won game 3. They thought it was going to be a sweep, and then we didn't get swept anyway. So we came back from 3-1 and won and went to the next round. Orlando was not a good team. They're just a team that makes inconsistent pass. And Live said, Franz Wagner would have got injured. Y'all would have got out. That's what people kept saying. I said, hey, no, Franz Wagner is overrated. He's injury prone and he's useless. And they trying to get rid of him. Orlando is finished. They will never get that chance again. Cleveland, we was robbed because we smoked them in the first 2 games. But the last 2, the officiating was just garbage. And Adams will make sure that the Pistons weren't going to be a threat to the Knicks. And the Knicks knew it. The world knew it. The Knicks was carried, and the Knicks is not a good team. They're nothing but fucking role plays except for Cat. Cat's a multiple time All Star, third All NBA. He's making money, not a whole lot of money, but he's making money. But let me tell you something: Knicks ain't gonna repeat because the owner doesn't give a damn. Because all the teams are improving except New York. New York's gonna be a play-in team. I'm tell you what they are. They're a mediocre team at best. Everybody was injured this past playoffs. Now the East was competitive in the first uh, two rounds. It was competitive a little bit, and then it gotten weak in the conference finals. Let's just say it like that. The East is not weak. No, the East is competitive. Since the Knicks won, they was carried by the league. They did not want Wemby to beat them because the World Cup. The World Cup was this year. And thank goodness that Spain beat Argentina. I'm happy for Spain, and World Cup is fine. So, yeah, the rigged teams, Argentina and the Knicks, Spain won, Spurs didn't. So they got what they got. Now, this is coming up next year. They're going to try to do it again with the Sixers and the Lakers. Now, LeBron's on this team thanks to Jaylen Brown. The ownership, the new ownership, don't care about Jaylen Brown. Well, the Celtics ain't doing shit either. They're washed too. It's over. Knicks Celtics playing team. They're going to get the high draft picks. Mark my words, because they got an anti-tanking rule next to Adam. See, they already shut the Kawhi vaccination down. He's going to get off. It's going to be a small fine, and no one cares. Trump's out of there. Because if Democrats do win, he's out of there. It's going to be a different world. I'm trying to tell you, this next year is going to be very, very different. It's going to be very interesting, and we're going to see how the world's going to play out. I got whoever comes out of the East. It could be Detroit or Philly. They're going to the championship. The Lakers can go too. The West is wide open. They ain't impressive, but you got a couple of dark horses. You got Minnesota. You got Denver. Done went down. They ain't getting nobody. Denver done went down. Then it's over for Denver. I'm looking at Minnesota, other teams, Portland. But if Portland plays hot this coming up next year and out thrusts OKC and San Antonio, oh, it's a different game, bro. And then the Lakers gonna have to prove something. Now, the Luka's in jeopardy right now. Yeah, he's got a long contract, but he's in jeopardy. He can be traded anytime. Are they serious about winning championships? Are they serious about winning championships? That's what determines if the Lakers are going forward. I'm not a Lakers fan. My dad has been a Lakers fan since the Elgin Baylor days. And I sent him a message about that ownership thing. He said, man, it's about money at this point. Yeah, that part of it. And the Laker fans online are tripping and they don't like the move. Now, I'm not a Lakers fan. I don't give two shits about it. And y'all franchise has been mediocre for the last couple of years. LeBron destroyed that franchise. Mark Walters didn't save nothing. Just trying to make an example out of y'all. The Lakers are not, they'll be used as the agenda team. I just don't think they will top LeBron James. Me personally, that lineup they got, they on some bullshit. Nobody's going to support the Lakers um, this coming up season. They still going to get views. I just don't see them winning a championship. No, not with that, because Luka's going to have Kyrie. He know what he want, and that franchise is going to be washed anyway. They'll look for the profits. They'll have competitive games. Are they going to win a championship? No, because once you got this new ownership group, a lot of people just don't like the Lakers no more. Because they hear the name, they just go crazy. Yeah. Josh Kushner is different than Jared Kushner because they have two different beliefs in politics, true. But it doesn't matter. All they care about is money. Yeah, Jared Kushner can turn on Trump anytime. That's why I don't care about the Kushners. They're mob guys. So it makes sense. But the Lakers could be upset by the league. It's all corruption. That's why I see with this ownership and things like that. Do not fall for it. It's just a matter of time people getting caught up in the nonsense. So ownership done ruined everything, but Ballmer started it. Venture capitalists owns everything, right? And tech billionaires own everything. when it comes to sports, and that's why the CBA is fucked up right now, and then the collective bargaining chip, and what else is fucked up? Salary caps. NBL, Major League Baseball, does not like salary caps. The players want the money. The owners got control of the salary cap and the money for the players. But the NBA has a bad position on that. But if they get rid of salary cap, no, the NBA will still thrive. You just get rid of LeBron James. Don't give him nothing. And now he's with the damn Sixers. He's gonna be out of there. Y'all just got to stop supporting in his sycophants. LeBalco, LeBron, all that shit. What he's saying, Live said it's Christian. Live said he's not taking steroids. The dude is taking roids, bro. Nobody likes LeBron. He gets caught with that shit. It's over. It's not rumors. No, it's over because they're trying to get rid of him. But the only way they can do that is there has to be a hit piece on him. So I'm not making a hit piece on him. Fuck his little group. They ain't thriving. Nobody likes LeBron James. And you're taking the roids. Like, plain and simple. It's been exposed by several people. I said he didn't sue nobody. Well, I got discovery too, my man. And that's why the E-Files said that he did that shit. Y'all gotta understand, LeBron is washed, bro. And a lot of people say he's not washed. He's very washed. So the Sixers may not win a championship. That's why I got Detroit, Indy, and all the other East teams ahead of them. The Knicks I don't count because they can beat the Knicks. And if they stop the New York Knicks, the Knicks will be they don't care about the regular season, they care about the playoffs. That's why they'll never be a number one seed. They're gonna start off bad and then the owner's gonna blow it up. They don't want to repeat. And if they blow it up, that means Cat wants to leave. He'll go to a team and free agency next year is gonna be crazy. It's in a great place. I just don't see people get caught up into that. So it's a whole nother story on that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's how you look at what you see today. So the Lakers' new ownership is going to determine who's going to stay and goes. Now, yeah, they're going to keep Luka and all the marquee guys. It's going to be very interesting how they're going to move forward. I don't see any players staying on that team long term. They'll get rid of some contracts. They're going to have real GMs that make decisions, and they'll be competitive, but they're not going to win a championship multiple times. I'm just going to keep it real because the West is very impressive. Like I said, we want championships. Well, you Laker fans are divided now, and it's over because you got venture capitalists don't care about your team. Nobody likes the Lakers, bro. Let's keep real. The people that like the Lakers, I get it. If you're a Kobe fan and that, a lot of people say they're synonymous. I don't think they're synonymous. That's the modern day Laker fan. They're delusional and they don't know the history of the Lakers. A lot of people think Kobe is the standard. It's fucking stupid. The history of the Lakers is very simple. You have to go back to the days of George Mikan and pre-George Mikan. If you don't go by the classic NBL teams before they merged in 1949. See, the Basketball Professional League was founded in 1946, right? By National Basketball League. They've been an NBL's been around before the association. The BAA has been around since 1946. NBL is the oldest semi-pro league, professional league for years before the BAA, right? So the two formed the alliance in 1946. But the years they had different paths of championships. So 46-47 season, the Warriors won their first NBA championship, right? Or should I say association championship, right? And then 1948, they had the Baltimore Bullets, a different Baltimore Bullets team, and they folded. They won in 1948. 49 was the Lakers, the merger of the new world, when the Detroit Gems merged with the NBA, and then they later became the Minneapolis Lakers, right? So they won one in NBL in 1948. Then they merged with the league in 49, something like that, 48-49 season. And they became the Minneapolis Lakers. They moved to Minneapolis. They were defending champs of another league, become champions in this new league, what we call NBA today. So it's very, very simple. Very simple. All these teams that came from one side of the professional league and the other one came the association, but you're gonna learn that these teams matter. So the Lakers' history goes back to the 40s, always to the 50s with Mikan, and then the rest was history. They got swept in 59. 60s, they didn't do shit. But the blueprint of the Los Angeles Lakers started in 1972. And the rest was history when he got Kareem. Kareem wanted to play with the Knicks and the Lakers because he went to UCLA. My dad was saying, yeah. And Kareem ended up going to Lakers. They made a deal, and the rest is history. You got Magic Johnson as a draft pick. Y'all trade some players, and then you got a traded draft pick that James Worthy got. He was the first overall pick. He was going to go to the Clippers, but he ended up going to Lakers in a trade by the Clippers. That's a Clippers pick, by the way. When he got drafted, that was a Clippers first overall pick, but traded to the Lakers. That's how they got James Worthy. That's a fun fact if y'all didn't know that. So now the rest of the history of the Lakers, it's very simple that the Lakers, the 80s, y'all know what happened. Magic got his championships, battle with Bird. Detroit was the future in the Eastern Conference. They was battling Bird. The original Bad Boys was the Celtics, confirmed by John Sally's interview with Byron Scott. And they were. Pistons became the Bad Boys. They took that fall is because by the league. And David Stern did like the Pistons. But Dick Ersol and NBC did not like Detroit because they were a threat to progress of Michael. Michael was the future. Michael Jordan was always going to be the future for them in the 80s. He got drafted in 84. He was the future for the next millennia and the 90s. The 90s, he ruled it like an iron fist. See, Jordan fans don't understand. I'm a supporter of basketball, even though I grew up watching the Bulls, supporter of the Bulls, but I also like other teams. I'm one of those people, but I'm a purist. I'm more of a purist than a fanatic. I'm a fanatic of the game. But I am a Pistons fan, but I ain't gonna let my bias get the best of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not over here being delusional. You see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to dictate nobody's thrive or strides or whatever. I'm just saying, just keep it 1,000. You just gotta make sure that it is what it is. So yeah, I've always liked my teams that I like. I talked about this before in several streams in this daily hump dump and talk about my experiences of looking at basketball and other sports and all that. And baseball, you already know I'm a Braves to the bone. But yeah, the Braves are doing good. I hope they go to the World Series. But I am not a big Dodgers fan. I don't care for them like that. But when it comes to the Braves, I support. I go to the games every now and then. So I've been to a couple of Braves games. But yeah, but the Hawks are doing good this year. They've improved on their roster, so they're going to be a threat next year against the. See, New York's got a lot of problems. They're going to have to just play very well to be the number one seed, but I don't think they'll be the number one seed. Not with that roster. They got the same. Everybody see. I don't think New York's a threat this coming up next year because everybody improved except New York. We talk about the Knicks. Now the Brooklyn Nets, I view them as New Jersey Nets. I always liked them when they were New Jersey, even though they're in Brooklyn. If the Nets play better this year, along with Washington, man, the East is back. All I gotta say is the East is balanced, and that trade will go through with Kawhi, and Toronto's a threat. He ain't gonna get punished. How about that? If he don't get punished, I don't see LeBron going to the finals. If Toronto stops this guy, and they face my Pistons, oh, that's a great Eastern Conference right there. Now, if the Lakers go to the finals this year, with this new ownership, do not be surprised if we get Luka Doncic. Well, not Luka Doncic, excuse me, not Luka. If we get like an Austin Reeves in a trade, I don't think we're gonna get a trade. I'm just fantasizing. I'm gonna say if this happens, because the Kushners and what's his name, Iger, they will love to get rid of Austin Reeves in a trade. I don't know what star they're gonna get. And I think they said they wanted Isaiah Stewart at one time. He's with the Grizz. I don't think he's going anywhere. They're gonna sign him a long contract. But me personally, if Duran wants to go to the Lakers or the Kings, I can see him be signed and traded by this weak ass owner. And if they get rid of Rob Pelinka, I could see him going to the Lakers, and then we may end up getting Austin Reeves. Still got to pay him though. But man, him and Cade, I can see they'll improve his game and he'll be a star. Austin Reeves. I don't think he's all that, but with a Pistons team that relies on defense, but all we need is the scoring. Man, if they get Austin Reeves for the Pistons, man, I'm telling you, boy, I am telling you, that Pistons team will look. And Nassar Thompson, oh man, I tell you that shit would be awesome to watch. But I think the problem with that is, like, the Lakers, the new ownership, it depends. They're going to keep the same roster for this year to see the first half of the year. But before trade deadline, there's going to be some pieces moved. I'm just going to tell you right now. Just be careful. Because the new ownership, they care about money. Because what they did with the Celtics, they wasn't supposed to be a top seed team. They were the number 2 seed, and they were a first round exit. But the Lakers said, we ain't going out like that. So they believe in Luka. So Luka might get Kyrie. He might get the guys that helped him go to the finals in 2024. That was like almost 3 years ago. It's 2 years ago of this year, but it'll be 3 years ago next year. It's going to be very interesting. I'm telling you right now, whoever improves before the trade deadline, we know the offseason Pistons got it. They'll get somebody. They're not done technically because the offseason's still here. It won't end until September. So we got a whole lot of August. In September is training camp. It's going to be very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. A lot of teams are improving. The West is improving a little bit, but it's going to be easier next year for them because the top 2 teams are standard, and then the media agenda will tell you the West is so dominant. No, when the Knicks won, they can't run that narrative no more because it's some good parity basketball when it comes different champion every year. I'm tell you right now, if the Pistons upset that agenda, they got to give them the Lakers. That'll be your NBA Finals. That's my small prediction. But I don't think it's going to happen because they're pushing LeBron and the Sixers so they can get a championship like the Knicks. And they're going to probably give the 76ers a championship. I'm just going to keep it real. If the Lakers don't be successful in this playoffs that's coming up next year, if they do good this year, there's going to be some pieces moved around. But I'm just saying the Lakers, that new ownership is going to be very shaky. Very shaky. And Laker fans are upset right now, and they're seeing the news, and they believe in Mark Walters, and I say no. They're upset about that, and they're highly upset about that. So it's very interesting. So they really pushing this Philadelphia thing with LeBron. I'm not surprised. They still making money. They're a large market team, but now they got even more larger, and they're more popular than ever. And this is something that I got to say, they're trying to compete with the teams like the LAs and the Bostons, and Philadelphia wants to be in that mix. The Knicks, they failed, man. That ownership is just terrible. He just need to sell the team to venture capitalists because New York will be more richer with that team. And if they really want to repeat, I don't think the Knicks will repeat because they're too stupid not to repeat, but they ain't going to repeat. But it's going to be up to Captain Anunoby to win. If Cap does not get his money, he's leaving. That team is going to be blown up, and the ownership will definitely blow it up because knowing him, they're going to blow it up anyway. All he got is a championship out of it, and they don't care. They're going to live off that championship bullshit, and they'll never win again. That's the Knicks for you. They always going to do Nick things, and the term NY, shouts out to Cam, he said it means next year. They're going to do the same old shit. Tell you right now, do not expect anything from them sorry ass Knicks. I'm just tell you, bro. The East is not wide open. It's just got better, and the teams are going to throw whoever wins the championship East. That'll be your dynasty right there. I don't know if it's going to be my Pistons. I don't know if it's going to be the Raptors. I don't know if it's going to be the Bulls or the Pacers. I could see different teams that try to want to be that. But I could see the Pacers be one. I could see the Raptors be one. This is new. Or Atlanta, because Atlanta's building something special. If they get Anthony Edwards, he's tired of Minnesota. They're going to try to experiment this year. That don't work. He's leaving. I can see him come to Atlanta. So easy, man. But if Detroit's greedy, the most richest player in the NBA, Kay Cunningham, I could see them be a dynasty. And they'll be scared of Detroit. And Detroit is the most feared team right now. The baseball team is okay. It's just you got to look at what's at stake. And that's how you got to look at it. So that's a lot going on, man. That's a lot going on. I've been more focused today. So I got breaking news. Russell Westbrook announced his retirement from basketball. It's over. And this is by Yahoo Sports. The 9-time All Star, 9-time All NBA selection, former MVP, reigning triple double king, announced his retirement from basketball Wednesday. Westbrook has made the announcement in a video narrative by Michael B. Jordan that he shared on social media or social network like on X. Sometimes you don't even already watch the end. You had to be there. Now it's over. Oh man, that's gonna be a hot topic. Russ retired from basketball. Man, this is breaking news, man. So Russ announces retirement. He announced it on X, so he's retiring. Russell Westbrook. Man, I'm gonna miss Russ, the hustle man. A lot of people call him Westbrook and you trolling him online, but he's a great player, man. Yeah, he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. He's got an MVP, 9-time All Star. Man, this man retired, man. Shouts out to Russ, man. What a hell of a career. What a hell of a run. He knows something that most people don't know. That it was time. He said he called it quits. Yeah. Oh, stop. They be posting nonsense on there. Posting nonsense on there. So, Russ is retiring. I guess he got tired of the bullshit. He's got his business endeavors, he's got endorsements and he just called it quits. Nobody wanted him. He just gone and retired. I don't blame him. That's going to be talked about today. I don't know how many streams that he announced his retirement. I got this from Yahoo Sports. Yeah, Russ is retiring. He played a lot of years in the NBA. He played since 2008 or something like that in the beginning. That's a long damn time. And Russ has played a long, long time. So we got to look at this and say, is it over for Russell, man? Yeah. Let me get this shit charged. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a long time. Let me look up Russ because he retired just now. A lot of people saying no confirmation on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go up in here. Look at his stats for a minute. Cause yeah, I just broke it on here. He just announced his retirement. And they ain't updated on the Wikipedia, but he announced it. He just called it quits. He played most of his career in OKC, 2008 to 2019. That's a good span. Let's subtract that. Let's subtract that. Let's calculate that. Let's calculate that. 2008 subtract 2019. I remember too. I remember them years. He played 11 years in OKC. Wasn't going back. 11 years in OKC. 2019 to 2020, he played a year with Houston. Washington, 2020, 2021, during the pandemic days, he played with the Washington Wizards, was traded to the Lakers. Those were horrible years, 2001 to 2003. He left the Lakers, and then he signed with the Clippers in 2003, 2024. That was about 2 to 3 years ago, according to this year. And 24, 25, he played the Denver Nuggets in that last year's playoffs that season. So he was a Denver Nugget for a stint. He had stints with Washington, Houston. Most of his career was in Houston. Not Houston, but OKC, excuse me, the OKC Thunder, which is formerly known as Seattle. And his last team he played for this year was Sacramento Kings. So, yes, he's a 9-time NBA All-Star, 2-time NBA All. He's a 2-time NBA All-Star MVP, 2-time All NBA First Team from 2016 to 17. He was all first NBA. He was making that money. And he's a 5-time All NBA Second Team from 2011 to 2013, 15, and 18. He was All NBA Second Team 5 times, 2-time First All NBA Team in the years that he was in OKC, and most of it's from Oklahoma City days, right? 2-time All NBA Third Team, 2019, I believe, yeah, third team, right? 2019 and 2020. That was with the Houston Rockets. He was with Houston at that time, and then Houston Rockets. He was 13 2 times. with Houston. Okay, All NBA first team. He's All NBA rookie first team 2009. Two-time NBA scoring champion 2015, 2017. That was OKC, and then three-time NBA assist leader 2018, 19. Like that was with Houston a little bit. Some of it was OKC and Houston, and then also OKC 2018, and then with the Lakers in 2021. He's part of the 75th anniversary team, all Pac-10 and all that. So yeah, Russ is a Olympic gold medalist of the team competition, Olympic Games. That was 2012 in London, 2010 in Turkey, team competition. So Russ has played a hell of a role. UCLA man, and yeah, most of his career. Most all of his awards come from OKC, I believe. And then 2019 off season, the 2020 that was Houston for a year, uh 2 years with the Clippers, I believe, traded to the Clippers, and the rest was history. Lakers didn't make the playoffs. What a hell of a career. Yeah, Russell Westbrook, man. He just announced his retirement today. And this is not shocking at all. Tiger playoff round, two Lions players turning heads in camp. Me personally, I'm not tripping. Um, this is no brainer, but yeah, I'm not going to shouts out to Braylon Edwards and the Woodward Sports. It's very, very interesting. Yeah, Russell Westbrook announced his retirement. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. I hope to all reports on it. Yeah, Russell Westbrook will retire. I just got it on my Yahoo Sports feed. I'm not tripping off of, Woodward right now. I'll look at them later. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Shouts to the people that's watching for the clouds or whatever. Salute to y'all. But yeah. So Russell Westbrook, he retired today. Very interesting. It's a lot going on, and a lot of people just seeing what's up, and he just got tired. And Russ retired, and nobody's talking about it right now because everybody's tripping off the Lakers and that ownership. One thing you have to respect him for is leaving all. He left it all on the floor. Indeed. But he left it all on the floor. Couldn't get a championship. He been to the finals once in what 2012. I mean, this is something. But yeah. Let me see something real quick. I'm gonna keep this icon. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep this icon. Ain't got much to tell. Let's see. Let me see. And that's just what you got, you know. So it's just like with two. Okay, so we in the motion. Okay, let's look at this right here. Images and shit. I'll do something right quick. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. Almost had a little blooper there. Yeah, 57 minutes to 16 seconds. Almost an hour. Okay, good, 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 good. But yeah, we talked a little basketball there and there. Russell Westbrook's retirement, the Lakers fiasco with the owner selling for 12.5 billion. That's blowing up right now on the internet. They ain't worrying about Russell Westbrook retiring. Ain't that obvious? But it goes to show you that a lot of things are happening. And football's on the way. This is preseason August, and I think it's tomorrow too. It starts, and then regular season September is going to be the hit. Who's going to the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl is going to be huge in November, December because they worry about seeding. October is where real football starts. See, September is the beginning month. October is like midway early month. It's still early because you got to January, February for the championship. But man, I love my Eagles, man. I want folks on football, but basketball is going to be big in October. I'm going to watch the games. I'm going to watch all the games, all my Pistons and other games that I get to watch too, and get to see what the talent is going to be. But it is what it is, man. Man, it's been a good day. It's 3 o'clock. Okay, we're on the hour mark. It's coming soon. And because I started at 2:01, it was supposed to be like 2 o'clock. Cause late, I had to adjust my microphone and my settings, and it's pretty cool. I got towels in the dryer. I'll get them in a minute or two. Not in a minute. I'll get them like after I get done with the stream, or probably later. So it's pretty interesting. So live stream is and it's crazy, as we can tell. It is what it is. Just look at it and just go crazy with it. So, and then you have what's going on like today. So I'm just been chilling. But I look at the things that's happening, I mean, Kwame Brown, he losing his mind off these niggas talking about Junkie and Suge and all them. I was recently in their chats, and I gotta say, man, these dudes they just be crazy on the internet. Like, why y'all listen to what these hoes say? Kwame done lost his appeal. Like his content, I think it's for entertainment reasons. I think he is what he is, and that's just something you got to see. And I just don't like, the fact that people just trying to say it's more than just that. But in reality, what's called- yeah, people fucking up my streams with these stupid messages. You know, and it's just like he didn't have a platform first. He was talking about the mama's cooking thing, and I don't know what he's on. But that's what happens when you mess with Junkie and them. Kwame, you just got to look at your content. He bringing his family in it, the Brown boys and all that, and I thought that was interesting. But he's making it known that he has to find his way of his content. I think Kwame Brown has to realize that that's the type of stuff that you're pushing. He has to understand about the internet and YouTube and things like that. So he has to realize that YouTube is one thing, but it's not like a lot of people try to say it's a business. It's a business. Technically, it's not a business. It's really not. It's not a business. I mean, it's good for content, things like that. Yeah, you be a content creator. Yeah, you be a person. I hate when people say it's business. Money divides people. I don't think y'all know that. Money divides people, and then there's skirmishes. I mean, I had some when I tried to do the live streaming thing. I said, "No, nah, this ain't gonna work. I'd rather be a basic content creator. Just give you information, tell you where to look, and then just show you and point you in the right direction. That's what I do. Yes, we help people. I did that during the pandemic days. I enjoyed the live streaming from 2021, and in the end of it, in the beginning of 2022. Now, have I live streamed since then? Yeah, I've been doing solo for a minute. I stopped dropping links because niggas wanted to make it about themselves, and I had an issue with that. I admit it was fun though. I've put on people on several panels. I just don't argue with people with it no more because they're so fucking lame on here. And I learned this by doing streaming, but I've learned a lot from others than what not to do. So no, I've done content. Niggas can't tell me how to do content. That's why I say fuck everybody else. It's competition. They want to make a competition. They lose every fucking time. I'm not the one, man. I done seen many iterations of my content. Yes, I use a microphone every now and then, but I still do. Like when I'm doing these type of streams, I have to. And sometimes I don't use a lot of microphones. I'll be outside talking without it. It's on your phone without the actual thing. So when I self live stream, it's good. I have to make the content about something. I don't mind streaming on the phone. That's easy. To me, it's kind of tacky. I call that 2015 ish, 2012 ish. That's easy to do. I used to do that with my pre-records and I stopped doing it. Yeah, people was doing microphones years before that and gear and audio. I could have done that back then and I got more popular. But in reality, everybody was worrying about sound and all this other shit. And who gives a fuck, to be honest with you? But if you have a studio, you have a studio to be in it. I mean, the USB mics is your starting point. I start out with the USB mic And I always tell the story. I enjoyed that microphone I had, and then it blew me. It gave me a lot of views. Different microphones. I tried everything. USB mics is for beginners. Nothing wrong with it. Everybody still uses the Blue Yeti, and people have not stopped using that. I think that's a staple of YouTube now. If you want to use gear and podcasts and powerful microphones or mid-tier microphones, well, I got with the Shure MV7 X. That's what I got. I got the X, the XLR cables, and a interface. Go right ahead. But these were cheap products that I got off of the cheap, but they wasn't expensive. Now they expensive now because everybody's buying gear. Everybody's doing podcasts. Everybody's doing sound check. You can upgrade. You know what I mean? So my stuff ain't out yet, but you got to get it in a good price. So my audio stuff is working. It's not broken down. It's been used. Use it on the computer and all that, and I just do content every now and then. So I am not the first the one that's not ever used a microphone. I just started in 2021. See, I didn't start live streaming until 2021. See, 2020 panelists, I was on a cell phone talking to people on live streams. That was cool. To me, it was tacky. That was pandemic shit, pre-pandemic shit. That's good content for certain people. And they talk about whatever they want to talk about. I used to do that. I stopped doing it when people ask me about sounds. Like, no, it's just sometimes without a microphone, it's damning. It's cool at first, but then it gets stupid. I get the mic aspect, the microphone aspect. You know, you want to hear your own sound, hear yourself talk, noise rejection and shit like that. I was learning, and I said that's cool, you know. But I ain't got no studio like that. If I had a studio, it'd be a different story. I'll destroy these niggas. But I ain't got time for that. I saw this bullshit. There's no real content to be made. It's kind of pointless at this point. So think again, niggas, and just look at the big picture. That I look at things from a different perspective. But you get tired of that. You know what I'm saying? You just get tired of the bullshit. But I understand why people say, "Oh, I don't get tired of that. I don't get tired of that." But you do. You do get tired of that when the bullshit comes. But you know what I'm saying. But it's some mediocrity shit. I just don't understand why people just get caught up in the nonsense. But you know, it's just matter of fact of people just being ignorant. You know, and I look at things like that's what we all see, and we see the problems that we see. I'm not saying you can't be a content creator on the internet. You can. It just takes a lot of work. If you try to do it for money, try to invest in the right type of people that back you, right? YouTube is not it, bro. I try to tell people YouTube is designed you to be creative. If you want to make money, just try to be efficient. And yes, if you are not a true creator of your work, then that's a you problem. See, I've done that. I have nothing to prove with these idiots on the internet. I just look at people how shitty they are. It is what it is. And it is what it is. It is what it is, man. And it is what it is. So I thank y'all for watching. And that's all I got to talk about. But I was just looking at his retirement. I said something on X. And one last thing. Yeah, be careful how you do YouTube. When I had a channel prior, I was doing entertainment. I tried that lane. And I try to mix it with the stuff what this channel was based off on at the time when I was pre-recording. Yes, I'd still believe in the faith and all that other stuff, but I had to put it on a back burner because one, I talk about various things. So this channel talks about that aspect, looking at real things, current events. But I basically keep this channel simple. I have not changed. I just don't really do a whole lot of topics. I just put it in a live stream form so y'all can feel what I'm coming from. And I research. That's what I do. I'm basically like researching the stuff, articles and things like that when it comes to sports. But when it comes to other things, like you deal with that side of it and you dissect information. And that's what this channel has become. I did live streams on. It's no need. You want to listen to local stuff? I've done already. It's no need to pre-record because people ain't listen to pre-record like they used to because of YouTube. I treat YouTube as if you want live streams, simulcast, or a podcast, cool. That's what I'm trying to do with this stream. And I haven't started a series yet with a live stream, but I eventually will. I'll eventually come up with something. I might do it next year, but this year I'm going to try to flush this out as I can with the daily hump dumps on Wednesdays. I think I'm going to stay with Wednesday for a minute, see where I'm at, and then by the end of the year, I'll make a change. I still got to figure out what I need to do. But topic wise, it's random, but it's actually current events. I'm talking about the Russell Westbrook retirement, the Lakers fiasco selling of different owners with Josh Kushner, his brother, the brother of Jared Kushner. They got two different ideologies, of course. And then Bob Iger's based off of George Soros. That's what he reminds me of. So the Lakers are in an interesting position. Remind me of the Celtics. So you know how it is. And we talked about what's going on, and then the football season is up ahead. We'll talk about more football the Wednesday after, and you get to see my response of it. And then we talked a little bit of baseball, which is impressive, and that will probably change next month. A lot of teams will improve. If you look at the Lakers, I just rounded off. It can change until next month because September is going to be an interesting month. So with that, shalom to the people of Israel, to the Gentiles until next time. And I'll see y'all soon on the Wednesday after. Sign off. Until next time, I'm out.